I got a smaller drill bit, the smaller drill bit, and it went straight through. Cool, no problem. So I put the bigger drill bit in, and it still wouldn't go. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I just went inside. I took the drill bit off the drill, and I put the drill bit all the way in there, and I hit it with a hammer. I was like, cool, it went through. Shoved the cable through there. Dude, I come outside, and there's a piece like this big missing out the side of the wall. I was like, oh.
All right, welcome everybody. And once again, we're here with another episode of Shift Over. We have a new guest, but let me introduce myself. My name is George.
Uncle Rich.
And today we have Mike, and he's going to be telling us a bunch of stories. He used to work in the cable industry and a bunch of other jobs that he has. So you guys are going to hear a bunch of different things from his life, I guess, his work life.
Right. It's a little different now.
Yeah. So, Richard, do you have anything to start with?
Oh, for me, I'm anticipating his stories. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd let him start before I jump.
Should we do the wheel to get his mind going?
Unless you had something that you wanted to get off your chest right up from the
Nah,
beginning.
we could do the wheel first.
All right. Yeah. I know we haven't used the wheel in a minute. There we go. Go ahead.
What do we got in here? Which one do I want to shoot for? What do we got? Violent.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, like violent customers or violent people that you've encountered, or do you want to spin it again?
Think about that one.
All right, let's spin it again.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had any instances that would fall under that.
Look at the options there.
It's pretty rare, but I mean,
Same one?
embarrassing moments.
Yeah. Did you have any embarrassing moments? I know we had a few where a couple of the guys, I was telling them, like, have you ever stepped in dog shit?
There's been plenty of those.
Walk in the house.
You come
Smeared
off
all
I
that
guess
little-
I guess this one would be like an embarrassing moment. Back, I don't know. God, this had to have been, I don't know, probably 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, something like that. I was at a customer's house in Ventura on the East End. I get there and I open the door and she has sheets laid out all the way from the front door, all the way to the TV. Fucking
Sheets?
like
bed sheets?
like bed sheets on the floor because she didn't want me walking on the carpet.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
carpet was like white as the walls. Like I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah.
all right, whatever. So I'm doing something. I'm cutting connectors behind the TV, and it's that old RG59, that real thin shit.
Okay.
So I'm stripping it.
Was there any pets? Got any dogs?
Nah. That floor would have been destroyed if there was any pets in that house. I mean, dude. I'm telling you, it was like white, like immaculate carpet. And so like I'm doing my work or whatever, and then I go behind the TV to cut a connector, and you use your nail to fold down the braiding, and I fucking jammed the center conductor under my nail.
Oh, dang.
Like, dude, I mean like far, and I pull it out, dude, it just starts pissing blood, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm sitting there like that, fucking running out the front door, trying not to get blood anywhere on our fucking carpet. And I was outside trying to clean my, I got outside. I mean that, you know how that shit goes. It bleeds, dude, for some reason. And
it was just shooting out.
dude, it was so much blood. It was so funny. Like I felt bad. I was like, fuck, I don't even want to go back in there because like I don't know if I got anything on the floor or anything like that. I was like, shit. And then the lady comes out. She's all, everything okay? So now I'm like, yeah. I was like, but she was already all like kind of like anal about having people in her house.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to tell her like, hey, I just almost fucking bled all over your house, but like I'm all clean it up, and then I wrapped it up. I think I just wrapped it up with like a napkin and electrical tape.
I came to donate blood.
Yeah, pretty much I came to donate blood and drop it off.
No, I've had that. I mean, I still have that, but I don't know if you've ever had. That's the braid, but have you ever done it with a center conductor?
No, it was a center conductor. No,
got
I shoved the center conductor under there. That's why it bled so much because it wasn't just the braiding; it was the center conductor.
And that's like a needle. It's thin.
And it was
usually like I do it like out of embarrassment. I just kind of cut my hand.
I tried
I'm
that.
bleeding, and you're wiping. You go out to the van, put a glove on, put some
Yeah.
tape or whatever, come back in with one glove on Michael Jackson.
Yeah. I tried that. You know, I tried. I was all right. Oh shit, it's gonna stop. You know, but like, dude, it was bleeding bad. Like, I was out there for probably a good 10 minutes trying to get this thing to stop bleeding before I went back at her house. I think I just wrapped it with like a napkin and electrical tape. went back in there. You know, go look through the first aid kit. There's nothing in there because the first aid kit's like older than shit.
So no blood.
Nah, no blood. No blood on that one.
Nothing on the carpet.
Nah, nothing on the carpet. I didn't ruin her. I didn't ruin that lady's house this time.
Oh,
you know.
man. But that one, those freaking hurt though. Like if it goes up your nail, like you can feel it in your whole arm.
Because you say it's like a needle, but it's not pointed.
Yeah,
Generally, it's got a radius on it.
That shit hurts.
You didn't get infected. You
Nah,
didn't get a tetanus shot.
Nah, tetanus shot.
But I mean, you know, you could embarrassing moments. I don't know. You go in there and you feel like you're on top of your game, and you're I could fix this. No big deal. You're carrying conversation, and then oh shit, it's not working.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of starts to snowball, and they're thinking they're about ready to pack up and move out, and here you go at another box, another motor.
Yeah.
Let me call in. Just it gets kind of embarrassing to me. It's like
you know which ones used to be bad like that when you talk about that was when you used to do the Moxie boxes. Moxie box installs.
Yeah.
Dude, those things, fuck, man. Like nobody knew how to activate them. Like
they take like half an hour.
Yeah, because you had the modem, you had the modem inside. Plus you had the Mac for the cable box, and then they had to mesh together in some other account somewhere. And if they weren't done right, then the box didn't work. And then so you're sitting there for like 2-3 hours just waiting.
It was like a magnified L count. I just remember it used to have to climb numbers into the hundreds and then the thousands or something, and it didn't work.
Yeah, after it did all that, then if it didn't work, then you had to bring out another one. You're there for another 2 hours waiting for it.
And then back then it was like the call center wasn't as big as it used to be. So like trying to get somebody on the phone. Yeah. Like remember with the Nextels, like hitting up dispatch on the Nextel, and then you'd hit up Armin, and you tell him to call you because like you can't do it over the radio.
Yeah. No, it's come a long way, but yeah, I just remember those days where they even gave you a I don't remember. They gave you this big tote with foam in it, like you carried it like it was a bar of gold. And then you would get it back, just throw it in the van, bang, it would rattle around like out of here with this.
Yeah, because it looks, it make you look back because they're like, what are you doing? Like
exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
You're sitting here, you're almost falling asleep because you're sitting there waiting. You're like,
or you're on the phone too, just waiting.
You're just sitting there like
how long is it gonna take? It's almost there.
Yeah, almost there. We're just waiting for them. They're just checking some stuff on the account. I don't know. It's taking forever, but
But then the phone is you just don't hold.
Yeah.
But
have you ever had any accidents? Like, were you involved in any accident?
Besides the finger.
Besides a finger, right? Not so much an automobile, like just in a home.
Yeah. Did you ever break anything accidentally?
Yep. Nothing. Yep. I got a couple things. Let's start with this one. I remember I was doing like a post wire. And I went
post wire being
running a cable around the house from the outside in, just because you can't go through the attic or whatever for whatever reason. So I was lining up my, you look for your route, lining up. All right, cool. This should be a good shot to come out. So I went from the inside out. The drill from the inside out because I couldn't tell where I was at outside 100%. So just so I can get the my 100% shot, corner, start drilling out towards the outside of the house. And it kept, how the stucco has that mesh. Yeah. So then the drill bit must have got stuck like right on the center where they cross over. So I was all sitting there drilling, and it wouldn't go through. And I was like, "Fuck, what the hell?" And I could see where it was at, And then and I had already knocked I got a smaller drill bit, the smaller drill bit, and it went straight through. Cool, no problem. So I put the bigger drill bit in, and it still wouldn't go. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So then I just went inside. I took the drill bit off the drill. And I put the drill bit all the way in there and I hit it with a hammer. I was like, cool, it went through. Shoved the cable through there. Dude, I come outside and there's a piece like this big missing out the side of the wall. I was like, oh, fuck. So I was like, shit.
Is that why we're not supposed to drill from the inside out?
I mean, whatever, maybe.
You're missing a piece of the wall.
Yeah, outside. So I was kind of embarrassed about that one. That was kind of like
So what did you actually told the customer?
Yeah, I had to. There was no way to hide it. That was one,
Well,
that was one of those
you
ones.
know,
Put it back
when
on
I
there?
shadow people, I usually show them, you know, when we get to that because they make that mistake. So, you know, silicone and the dust
Yeah.
is your best friend,
so-
right? You put it on, put a little
I've-
dust on there.
So I've done that before, but this was like a little too, dude. It was like that big.
Florida.
Yeah, there was no way for me to like. There was no way of hiding this. You know what I mean? Like, so trust me, I thought about that, and I've done it before. You know, I've put the pieces back on, silicone, threw some dust on
That's
there.
it.
You know, rub some dirt in there. Nah, that's good.
And so
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
it? Was it like, can I talk to you, sir? Can I see you for a
Nah,
minute?
I don't remember.
Carrying the
dude.
big old chunk.
I don't
This was your
remember.
wall?
I think I went through and like, and what's funny is this house I think it had just been done like recently because it looked all kind of new. I think that was one of the
Well,
reasons.
there you go. It was your fault, sir. You're a contractor. I don't,
I
It
think,
hasn't dried yet.
it's not cured.
I think that was one of the reasons why I couldn't make it look like it was like old
Yeah.
because
Oh.
it was
It's brand
fairly
new.
it was fairly new. So it was
Yeah,
like you know, I think I was one of those ones that was just like, hey, you know what? When I was drilling through the wall, I kind of fucked up your wall.
My
I was
bad.
like, my supervisor's gonna give you a call tomorrow.
Oh,
You know?
man.
And
I
the
was-
service don't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
but on the bright side is your modem's working. Yeah.
Cut him out.
3 hours later.
There was another. That was like I remember I put a ladder through a window one time.
A 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say span ladder.
Nah, it was a 6 foot. I was
Like, did it just fall on you, or you just went through it?
nah. So I was up in Ojai. This house had like it was like a brick house, and it had like ivy in the bottom. So I had my ladder in the ivy. You know how it's, you never know what's under it. So when you put your ladder on the ivy, you just hope it stays where it, hope the ladder stays where it goes, right? So I was like, here's this window, here's this big window, and so I leaned up on the edge, and I was putting some clips in to hold it to the ceiling, and I did something, and the ladder shifted, and it just went right through this window.
Oh,
And to top it off, it wasn't like a regular window; it was like a paned window, and it was like an older house.
With you on it?
Yeah, with me on it. Yeah. So what happened was when it slid over, it pushed through two window panes, and I broke 2 window panes on that one. And like it wasn't like a one off. It was like a one off window. So like they had to get some guy to custom make windows for it, like a window to replace it and all this stuff. It was a big old thing. That job was a fucked up day, dude. Because that same day on that same job, I got stung by a wasp. And I hadn't been stung by a bee in I don't know how long, probably 20 years, 30 years, something like that. So I didn't know if I was allergic. And it was hot as shit that day too. So I'm sitting there out in the truck, like sitting inside the van, like on the side of the van, like looking at my arm.
waiting to see if
So
it's gonna get
you
bad.
had a swollen arm, a ladder through the window.
I had already called my soup, and he was already aware of that. And then I was like, hey, now I got stung by a bee. I was like, I don't know if I'm allergic or not. I was like, but I'm gonna be sitting here. I was like, I'll call you back in a few minutes. And I just sat there, like, and I was like getting all sweaty because I'm all paranoid because I'm thinking, I'm gonna have an allergic reaction. And it wasn't just like a regular bee; it was a wasp. So like when it stung me, it just stayed there. And then it stung me again. And I was like, you little bastard. Yeah, that was a bad day. But like that one turned out to be, I wasn't allergic, but it was just a shitty day all around.
A ladder through the window.
Yeah.
I've walked a span ladder through a home. It's just you're just that desperate to get through.
Yeah, I've done that
And you
before
feel
too.
kind of-
Yeah.
Okay, then you got a straight shot to the back door, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna bring a ladder. Yeah, sure. Then you're walking through that 28-foot
Yeah.
section.
So you call that's what
Nothing to see here. Sir.
that's what you call one of the coworkers and be like, hey, can you guide this ladder through the house for me? Because I don't want to knock anything down. I've done that before. Let's see. I've fallen through a ceiling twice. Well, sorry. I fell through a ceiling once. The second time I didn't fall all the way through.
Somebody push me.
Nah, so the one time when I fell through, I was over at Ventura Village Green, over there on Hill and Telephone, right there by the government center. Those the projects right there. There's apartments, whatever there. So I was working in the attic, and you know how the A-frame comes like that. Usually there's a 2x4 in the middle. So I'm walking along, I'm locking my heels in, my heel into the 2x4 so I won't slide down.
Did you wear climbers at that point?
The boots, yeah. So I had the regular boots, and I always used to wear those, no matter what. Like
To the mall and
yeah, no, I mean, like while I was working, I wasn't like some of these guys that wear tennis shoes,
flip flops.
flip flops to the job. You know what I mean? Who was with me at that job was Jeff. He was with me at that job. He was in the hallway. So I was trying to wall fish something, and my feet came unclipped from came unhooked from the 2x4, and I just slid and just sat down on that board. So I'm like sitting there. He's like looking up at me. My feet are just dangling in the hallway. I'm sitting on the 2x4. There's a big old hole in the ceiling.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a messed up one because there was asbestos in that ceiling too. So like they ended up having to put those people up in like a hotel for like a couple of weeks while they went through and cleaned it. And
Oh.
yeah, that one was bad. Yeah, that was probably like 10 years in though. That was the first time I had ever gone through the ceiling. And then like probably like maybe a year or two later, I slipped and I landed on
I slipped in the attic.
yeah, like I
Just wrong step.
yeah, wrong step, and I caught myself, and then I came out and I looked up. I'm oh, cool, the ceiling's fine. But then before I left, I walked in the ceiling. I walked through the house again, and then there was a big old crack in the ceiling from where I had fallen. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So I had to
Crack the drywall.
I had to have somebody come out and fix that. Like
You didn't carry around that little tiny bucket of spackle.
Nah. I thought
Oh, you carry one?
What do you mean? Yeah, I do. Home that one store for $12. You
Right?
get the spatula and the thing turns
Yeah.
white when it's dry.
I don't know, just in case, get the hell out of there. Yeah. Nah, and then I went through it. I went through after people that had done some shit, and I'm like, dude, really? Like you just left this here? Like I remember I went to one house where a contractor come through and they ran a cable into the kitchen, and you know those pocket doors that had a way into the wall.
Yeah.
Well, the door was open, so it was tucked away into the wall. Well, they drilled through the wall and through the door and ran the cable into the kitchen that way. So the customer went to go close their door and they couldn't close their door because the cable was going through it
Doorstop.
on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I had to go fix it. I had to go out and remove the cable and move a cable because of that one time.
Well, I mean, they say that it speeds up the internet. It's a straight
Yeah,
shot.
yeah,
so
straighter
yeah,
shot.
yeah. So
closer.
gigabits work better.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm trying to. That's probably it as far as like damage. Like if like either I've done or I mean I've seen some shit.
Have you ever experienced or seen somebody fall from a ladder or an accident aside from you, like a coworker
I've never seen anybody personally fall. I've fallen.
from a ladder?
I got thrown off of a span ladder from a strand. Like probably, I was still a tech in Oxnard, so it was probably within my first 5 years. Probably like I was only here for like 4 years or something like that. And it was all because I was trying to make it look nice.
And the strand being the line that goes from pole to pole
pole
that
to
people
pole.
see above their
Yeah.
home. Okay.
So this is in a house over there off of kind of by the east end of Ventura, like at the very top of Pettit. There's these backyards that are kind of staggered. So like one yard is like maybe like 3 or 4 feet lower than the other.
Well, they kind of step down.
Yeah. So I was in the one that was higher. So the strand wasn't that high because I was up there with just I think I maybe had one click on my ladder and I was on there. And I had gone up to just to put a zip tie on this was a big old drip loop. Like it was just hanging there. So I went up to go just put a put a zip tie on.
Yeah, make it look nice.
So yeah. So what happened was when I did that, as I was coming down, I think I had taken like 1 or 2 steps down, and the strand unraveled from the house, or the messenger wire unraveled from the house, and that strand went and it shot me off. Like and it basically I had already unbelted, so I was already on my way down, so I wasn't belted off or anything, and it tossed me from. I mean, luckily it was a 28-foot ladder is only 14 feet high.
Yeah.
So it's it's not too far, but
No, but a lot of that, the tension.
yeah. So it's basically as soon as I saw it break, like it happened so fast. Like you go to try and grab yourself, and there's nothing for you to grab because it's gone.
Yeah.
It's it's already 5 feet that way, and you're going this way.
It's like a large
And-
cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I landed like a cat, like in the yard. I was like,
What the fuck?
like
You
the
got
cu-
up like you meant to do that.
I got up and I was like, oh.
Like the
All
hero,
right, cool,
the hero landing.
I'll come back for the ladder, sir.
And the customer was like, are you okay? I'm all, I think so.
happens all the time.
Like, I was like, I think I'm good, And then I had to go repair the drop and all, afterwards. But that was one of those eye waking moments, like you see, and you're like, fuck, that happened so fucking fast.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I can do about it. I did everything I was supposed to be doing.
So you did that affect you like later as you started to climb, or did
I would be more aware of like I would if I was if I was able to look at how it was attached to the house, prior to doing it, to going up, then yeah, I would look at it just to be a little more on the safe side.
Well, it's like one of those things that they can over the years they tell you don't do this, don't do that,
Mhm.
especially don't cut the span, and something that I didn't really buy into, like that doesn't make a difference
Mm,
until you
experience it.
because when I came up, it was a bunch of jokers, a bunch of people that everything was all fun and games.
Mhm.
When I first started, I got up there and hey, hold on, why, bang, and
Yeah.
then you're just like, oh
Yeah.
wow. So then really,
Mhm.
Oh, they'll be like-
then you buy into it really
Yeah.
quick, like
Yeah.
whoa, how dangerous this could
Yeah.
be.
They tell you, hey, are you tied up?
Yeah.
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 And
boom, that's exactly
Yeah.
like hang on.
Yeah.
You're
It's,
just bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, you can't do that nowadays.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
no.
it's like not.
There's
correct.
cameras everywhere now.
That too. There's cameras everywhere, and then
Well, they used to, it was like
the
I
cable-
don't want to say like a rite of passage. It was just a bunch of clowns. Like when you're new, you're new, and they would do things like we used to have these GMC safari vans,
Oh,
and they had these little metal hubcaps.
Yeah.
And so the thing, what they would do to the new guys
handful of
is,
fittings.
yeah, see, so they put the fittings in there and close it, and
Yep.
you'd be driving, and you're like, what? So I had that, but I also had this one dude. He did too much. He slid under the van, and what he would do
Zip
is
ties?
right on the drive.
Yeah.
And you'd be driving, you stop, you driving, you stop.
Yep. Yep.
And then there was also one that he would go around with RTV, and he literally, because it had the metal handle,
Oh,
so
you
he'd
put it under the
fill
handles?
it under the handle.
Yeah.
And when you go to grab it, your hand was just
Yep.
full, right?
Yep.
I
I did that with the dielectric
You
grease.
see, that's
Yeah.
And even when it would rain, it would pouring rain, and you're in the yard because we would all park our vans. So this dude would get. We used to have the poles in the back because way back when
Oh,
we
the
used to have
yard.
a little pole
Yeah.
yard, and so he'd get your ladder with your tools if you left it open. Put it on the ladder, extend it all the way up, and just leave it there in the pouring rain. So when you came to work, it was just there all wet. You know what I mean?
That's a little much right
You
there.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, you were one of those guys. Just
Yeah, I did quite a few things like that. I mean, I think when I came in was like the last
the last of the comedians.
yeah, the last group that was able to get away with like doing stupid shit like that.
Sending the new guy to go look for the cable stretcher.
Oh, yeah,
Like
cable
actually
stretcher.
go. I don't know what you don't want to feel stupid.
20 minutes
What does
later,
it, what
they
does it
come
look
back.
like? It's right there, bro.
Yeah.
Go ask somebody. Go ask that dude over there.
Yeah, now I mean
Left-handed hammer.
now yeah, left-handed screwdriver. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's just the guys that I saw before I left there. A lot of the younger guys. I think I was listening to one of the other shows a while back. You guys talked to somebody about the either they make it or they don't, and if they don't make it, they're gone in like a week or two or a month or whatever.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. It's like people don't realize it sounds like an easy job, but it's there's a lot of shit into it. So it's not just a one layer type thing. It's like an onion. There's all kinds of different layers. And everything every day is different. No matter how. I mean, you're doing the same job.
Yeah.
You're doing the same job every single day, day in, day out. But every day is different. There's no 2 days that are even exactly the same.
It's like I always, in any of the guys that I've mentored or shadowed, they go through that training of theory. And the first thing even the first day is like, hey man, I know you just came from training, but
Yeah.
theory is theory. And
Yep.
that don't always translate to
Yep.
nothing, man.
Cable math
And
doesn't
you'll
mean
get
anything.
those guys that like, nope, this is what it is. I
Mhm.
train on top of my class. Cool. This guy's probably not gonna.
Mhm.
It's not gonna fare well.
Because once you come out in the field, it's a whole different world.
Or you get them to start climbing in the real world, like oh now I gotta get to that pole.
Mhm.
Shit, how am I gonna get to that pole? Like,
When's the
okay.
bucket truck coming?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like that looks really high.
Maintenance, dude. But bucket assist. Man, you could get that with the ladder. I mean, I used to hate those calls with maintenance, dude. I used to make people look stupid. Not to sound like I'm an asshole or anything, but I would make techs look stupid sometimes because I would go throw a ladder up there.
Coming from the guy that put the fittings in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's a few guys that are still in the department that are still there that are afraid to climb.
Yep.
Everyone knows who they are probably. I'm not gonna mention any names because I don't want anybody to be
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably know who they are. There's been quite a few times where, like, okay, like as maintenance techs, usually you give some of the people the benefit of the doubt. You'll get like one or two where you'll be like, all right, look, this is your one or two times where I'll do this for you, whatever. But you could have got that, you know. But then you get the same people that do it over and over and over. Because I need your help. I can't climb. It's not safe. This and that. Okay, it's not safe for you to climb, but I can come out here and climb it.
Yeah, after the third time of them calling you, you're like,
Mhm.
watch this.
Yeah. So
Here's my ladder up.
I mean, there was plenty of times where I'll throw my ladder up. I'll go up there, touch it, take a picture, come back down, throw my ladder back on the truck, and then leave. You know, just to prove a point.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, it just, you know.
But you're
I should
saying,
do that.
what about you?
Yeah, dude, hey, there's one or two people in the department that still do it all the time probably, and they've been called out. And you know, one of the supervisors told me, "Oh yeah, he's gonna change." I'm like, dude, he's been here for 20 years. He's not gonna change.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever.
I've been guilty. No, I mean for different
Hey,
reasons, bro.
hey.
You
No, I know.
I think for me, like when they started that whole safety push and like, hey, we don't want to find you doing X, Y, Z because it's on you,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. It's like this, they're set
Yeah.
protecting themselves.
When I went to maintenance, you had to learn how to gaff.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, they teach you to hitchhike, but you were allowed to gaff without anything. You're allowed to free climb gaff, you know?
Well, when we were at Adelphia,
Not
you
anymore.
had to
Yeah.
certify, and I went down to Redlands, but there was no. It was freehand,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
belt it
Yep.
off, and they wanted you to spin around the
Yep.
pole, go up 18
Yep.
feet, spin around, back up.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. Now you have that.
Hit the
The
hitchhike,
bu- the
the
bug
bug
squeeze.
squeeze, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the ass to use.
Yeah, because you have to be pulling yourself the
Yeah.
whole time.
And what's
By
crazy
the time
is
you get up there, you're like, oh fuck, I'm
Yeah.
tired.
you talk about safety and concentrating, but when I don't remember his name, but this dude, like, they used to throw the football at you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
If it
yeah.
falls,
No, that was
and I don't remember his name. He used to, I think he was in Vietnam. He was, but it was like he would be yelling and shouting at you, and so we'd all got to go up and throw that football at each
Yeah.
other from pole to pole.
I remember
And the
doing
one
that.
dude that
Mhm.
dropped it. We'd all have to just be there while he went down,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
back up. It's almost like you're in the service. You want to
Yeah.
beat the shit
Yeah.
out of him. You know what I mean? If you drop
Yeah.
this ball.
Yeah, I remember doing the football thing, but I don't remember him. I probably had someone different thing.
He used to. I think he was like a baseball. He coached on the side too as well. But people.
But I think they all did it because I remember doing it with another trainer also.
the football thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's like
Because they
it's
just
just
had
it's like a confidence builder.
yeah.
You just get comfortable up there, throwing, okay, look, I can move around. And,
And so you let
you
go.
know.
You're not grabbing it with your, for dear life.
Yeah, but when you're
When
up
you're up
there
there.
and dudes keep dropping the ball, it's
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro. If I had a wrench right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me throw you my belt.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you are one of those guys. It's not like there's been many from our office. You've transitioned from field tech to what is called maintenance.
Right.
You work on the distribution. You're the guy in the bucket truck.
Right.
Have you had any close calls or anything with that bucket truck? Like, I've personally never gone up in one. But I know a friend of mine, there was an accident. So I'm saying, have you ever seen something?
I mean, I've done stuff. I've gone up, and there's been times where I'm like, oh shit, like that could have been really bad. I mean, there's a ton of different dangers in itself, just being part of maintenance. Because you're in. I mean, a lot of times sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere, like on a windy road,
By yourself.
pitch black. Like up in Ojai. Yeah, there's been times where I'm up in Ojai, like I'm out there, like off of Grand and McNeil. That's the backcountry over there. That's wild animals, shit like that. So like on those, what I would do was not that I'm scared of animals or anything, but I would pull over at the
Depends what kind.
I would pull over at the gas station, leaving town, get all my tools ready in the bucket, and then I'd sit in the cab, turn all my lights on, sit there,
turn music on loud.
look around, get out of the truck and basically like run around the truck and hop up in the bucket as fast as I could because dude, there's barriers, there's mountain lions and shit out there. You're out the middle of nowhere,
I heard a dude chasing bears chasing me.
There's been times like when I worked in Santa Monica, I worked up in Palisades, and you're up in the hills, like way the hell up there in the middle of nowhere, and you're boomed up and you start hearing shit in the bushes next to you, and you're like,
Yeah.
dude, the fuck was that? Like that sounded like you know.
And then
Well-
sometimes out there you'll hear coyotes,
Mhm.
and then they'll
And-
come up
yep.
in a group.
Yeah.
If they're in a group, you got to get in your truck.
Yeah, because yeah,
So,
if it's one or two of them, dude. There was a time where
hey, buddy, where's that sandwich at?
Yeah. You're the
So-
sandwich.
so I remember when I was back over here and I was working 3 a.m. to noon. I was working up in Ojai in that gated community over off of Baldwin. Those,
That big one to the right.
yeah, the one on the right hand side where the big ass mansions and shit are. So we were working in there. It was like probably like 4 a.m, foggy as shit. You know, we're working, we're tracking down ingress. We find the amp that it's at, and then we're just standing there. This is like this empty lot, and there's a bunch of other houses, but this empty lot kind of backed up to like this little ravine, and then you hear what sounds like somebody walking on leaves. Like you hear like foot, like basically like moving. We're looking around with, with all the lights and trying to figure out where it's coming, but it's foggy. You can only see maybe like 50, 60 feet. You know, maybe yeah. So then it would stop, and then all right, cool, and then you hear it again.
Oh man! Like you're in
Dude,
a
I was
freaking
like,
movie.
hey, bro, let's get the hell out of here. Dude, we threw a filter on the line real quick and bounced. like, let's get the hell out of
Problem
here.
solved.
You did the opposite from what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Have you watched the movies? You're supposed to go towards it.
Oh yeah,
Make
right?
yourself big or what?
I know. Yeah, I wasn't.
You gotta see what's that noise? Let's go investigate.
Yeah, no, I
The
was
first ones to die.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I was like, I'm not. I don't know what's out there, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna find out either.
And in any of the areas when you were, I mean, you generally don't deal with customers.
Right.
At any time, do you recall getting into it with a customer or a person?
Yeah,
Something that stood out to you?
I mean, as much as maintenance isn't supposed to deal with customers, there was always incidents where like you're going out for an escalation or something, and the customer's already irate. So then they're like, "Well, you were supposed to be out here 2 days ago." Well, the tech was out here 2 days ago. I was I go when I get the work order. No one tells me to do when to go to a job unless it's like a supervisor or something. There's been times I would do when I was in Santa Monica. We had the cops call on us all the time, just for easement. Because Santa Monica would cover like the Westwood area, and like the Brentwood,
affluent area.
Brentwood, Bel Air.
Mhm.
And a lot of times in those areas, the people didn't want to let you have access to the pole. It's like,
Is it backyard or
a
alley?
lot of it's backyard.
Because they didn't have the service with the company.
Yeah.
So
That was one of those things. Like, well, I don't have service with you.
Yeah.
Okay, but the
So
telephone pole's
just
still
to
in
be
your
an
yard. I
asshole.
still have easement. Yeah. So like those times where if the gate's open, it's free game. We try and do it.
yeah.
We would try and make every attempt to contact the property owner.
Mhm.
If the gate's unlocked, it's free game. The gate's unlocked, that's another story. If the gate's locked, it's another story.
There's grass on the field, play ball.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been times where we went in the yards and we're sitting there with the cops, waiting for them to calm this customer down and then escort us in because now they don't want to let us in after they just called the cops on us. So I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've gotten into it with customers over just little stuff, disconnecting lines or whatever. I'd trap someone and they would come out like right away. I'm like, God damn, I'm trying to get out of here,
It's like, bro, you're watching porn at 2 in the morning.
I know, right?
Go to bed, bro.
I know, like back in the days, I don't know if you guys remember this shit. Like you go to a call and there'd be like a ton of lines hooked up and you're like, let me audit this real quick. And there's always that one person in the yard, like looking at you. Oh, let me check that address. Oh, you don't have service. All right. Disconnect them. Boom. It was always the person that was always the most interested. They're always the ones that were hooked up that weren't supposed to be.
Stupid ass questions.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
Yeah.
Long enough to cut your shit off.
Let's hear what they say now.
What are you working on over there? Yeah. Oh, let me check that address real quick. Hey, do me a favor, check audit this address real quick. Disconnected since 1996. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and unplug this. Cut the drop back another 4 feet.
Yeah. Just throw it in the backyard.
And then they get mad at you for disconnecting them. It's like, dude, you don't even pay for service.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even need to talk to you.
I think I've talked about it before. It was like back we used to use red and blue filters. I don't know if you remember. We used to have a various green, orange, but the predominant were red and blue.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. They were.
Yeah.
They were 6 inches long,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
old rusty.
yep.
Yeah.
So what you'd find is some crafty
Mhm.
individuals
Yep.
would cut the cable back, the center conductor so far,
Yep.
and
Yep.
ingeniously put it through, but tap out that filter so it looks like they're
Yeah.
trapped. But
Mhm.
because it was ingress back then, it was, but they were getting channels forever and a day.
Yeah, that was I seen a couple of those like way back in the day. Like filters this long, and you pull the connector off, and you're like,
exactly checking oil in a car.
Yeah.
what the hell? Yeah,
Yeah,
But it worked.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. They
Yeah.
got their 72 channels.
No, there's always a way that people would get around just to get cable.
Did you ever get into it with a coworker? Like not just just
Oh yeah, I've been known to be very.
obtuse.
I don't want to say
Straightforward.
straightforward, but like
standing your ground.
like that, and like like stand on principle, and I've been known to put people on blast for like I said earlier, I give people the benefit of the doubt. When we do the same thing over and over and over and over again, it gets old. You know what I mean?
That's
I
just
mean,
called fed up.
Yeah. So like, there was times where I almost got into it in a meeting one time with another coworker. I'm not gonna mention names. Me and him are cool now. He doesn't work at this office anymore, but me and him are cool now. Me and him, for some reason, we just bumped heads. And he was only on my team for a little while too. He came from somebody else's team, and then and he was only on our team and me and him, just for some reason, we just bumped heads. And then we're talking shit like in the meeting. Paul was up there, giving his little spiel, and me and him are in the back of the room. He's sitting in front of me. Me and him are just talking shit to each other, and like we were ready to go. We were ready to go in the parking lot and just have at it. But
Miss those days.
Yeah.
but it's like, dude,
Get it out.
yeah. It's like it gets down to the point where it's like, damn, do I want to risk my job for some bullshit like that? And then there's other times where I've done, I've been the keyboard warrior, and I've sent like a backhanded email, like
Oh yeah.
and I'll send it to the whole group to make someone look stupid just because they pissed me off so much. And then like there was one time,
We're not allowed to do that no more, sir.
oh, what I would do is I would make sure that it was politically correct,
All right.
and to where it, even if
They were crafty insults.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
to where if HR took a look at it, they'd be like, oh yeah, he was just sending an
He
email.
was just speaking facts.
He's making sense.
Yeah.
He didn't say you were a dumbass. He just said you didn't know anything.
Yeah, I remember there was one time I sent our whole team an email, right? And I was addressing one person on our team, and I CC'd the whole team.
It's just a fuck.
And then I get a response back, and said person had removed the rest of the team
When he responded.
when he responded.
Oh,
So
he was
then
trying to let you know, good sir.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
so
yeah.
then he said something along the lines of like you keep coming at me, I thought we're gonna have a problem. So then what I did was then I replied back, and I added everyone back into the email.
Oh, he's got too much time.
and said, well, since you went ahead and removed everybody from this group, from this email,
Since you've taken the liberty, sir.
I went ahead and added everybody back. And to me, it seems like that was a threat. I was like, do I need to bring HR into this?
Oh.
And then I never heard a word after that.
Oh,
You know? But like, it was one of those things where I was just like, I had already had it. I had enough, and I was like, dude, I was pissed off about some stupid.
Why
shit.
didn't you one up him and add another person to the group that wasn't in the group?
just some random
Somebody,
thing.
I don't know.
Dude,
Yeah. Nah. I mean,
I'll see your 10 people.
yeah.
I'm gonna put 11.
How about the cleaning lady that comes?
CC the whole DL.
Yeah.
I don't even work at Auctioneer. Why you guys?
Right.
Why you guys attaching me?
Start
started
your own
thread.
time, Seabass.
There's gonna be like 1,000 people there
Yeah,
after.
yeah. Remove me from this group chat.
Yeah.
Or remove me from this email chain.
And then you say, okay, reply to all. So love that, bro. You should be a fucking asshole.
Yeah. I mean, that was. I mean, I'm kind of upfront. Like, I'll speak my word. My feelings sometimes, and it's gotten me some conversations from superiors before, in the office. But I mean, a lot of times what it came down to, I was just speaking truth, and they just didn't like the way I was coming at them. I remember my old soup said that our manager then wanted to talk to me and have a conversation. Well, back then, the manager was one of those people that didn't want to let you get your words in edgewise.
Mm-hmm.
So I said the only way I'm going to talk to him is if HR's in the room. I was always pretty vocal and in the office, like always, you know. We used to call it back in the day. They used to call it the cable cowboy days.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Right over the roof.
Yep. Just knock it out.
Three story apartment complex.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Paper routes.
Paper routes. Yeah, those are always fun.
We used to go to the park and play basketball.
Yeah.
And then
that was before me.
The manager would start calling. You know, we would get the different. Hey, what are you doing? On lunch. We got a report of like 12 vans playing basketball. It's at lunchtime. In your case, because you've transitioned to another employer, I guess you will. Did anything that you learned in this job, was it a takeover to your new job? And I got a second question after that.
Well, I mean, this job is you learn a lot in this job. It's not just how to put a connector on, how to read numbers, how to make things work. I mean, you got to learn customer service. You got to learn customer service skills. You got to learn people skills. You got to learn how to deal with your coworkers, how to deal with different departments, how to make things, like I said, put things in words that are more politically correct for everyone, so that so everyone understands. So there's a lot of different, it's not you're not just a techie, or you're not just a pulling cable. You're not just so you're using all these different skills. So I mean, there's always my current job now. I'm a mechanic, but I still deal with the public on occasion. Usually I'm not really facing the public, whatever, but I'm a public servant now, so I can get scrutinized a lot more than like an average job. So I have to be aware of my surroundings, which I was always, I drove a giant billboard for 16 years, almost 17 years. So I knew, okay, yeah, this is gonna come back to me if I do something stupid. So it's the same thing, you kind of take that over. It's like, now I'm in a county vehicle. I'm in a marked county vehicle 90% of the time. So it's like, you learn like, okay, there's a professional side, and there's the go dick around and do whatever side, So, and there's times where I got to build stuff and run cable. I still got to run cable sometimes, but I'm running cable in vehicles we call what we call crew carriers, or we'll run, I'll run wiring for a lighting system or whatever. So there's times where I still run into that same stuff. Similar takeover, yeah.
So with that said, I ask everybody, and I ask you, if you've watched, it's like, as far as the cable industry and your cable career, did you choose that career? Did the career choose you?
Well, it's a complicated answer.
That's what we're here for.
So, so I started doing cabling, like not the cable company cabling, like wiring Cat5 cables and stuff like that, and running stuff for businesses back when I was like 19. This is way before I was in the cable company.
Like Cat3.
No, I mean we did. Oh yeah, I mean we did Cat. It was phone cable. We did Cat. Fiber was starting to get real big back then. So we were running fiber in for some stuff. So out of high school, I wanted to do like tech work, like computer work. I was like, they told us back, when I was in high school, when I was graduating, back in 2000, yeah, like you can get a job making $50,000 a year. That was great money back then in 2000,
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'll be in IT. I'll do IT all day long. Nah, that didn't work out too well. And then I just didn't really enjoy that part of it. And then back then I got a job as working for a company that ran cable for businesses. Did that for, till just after 9/11. So the January or February following 9/11, because all these giant projects got put on hold. Nobody knew what the economy was doing. The economy took a shit. So I lost my job. Then I was working for like what do you call those?
Contractor?
A staffing thing?
Yeah, so I was working for them doing tech jobs, doing cable, they'd call me and they'd go do a cable job here and there. So I'd be doing these odds and ends jobs here and there. And then I was like, I needed a real job. So then I got out of it, went back to being a mechanic. So then I was a mechanic for a couple of years. And then a buddy of mine worked for Verizon at the time, for Fios. and I worked with him for a couple different jobs prior to that. And he's like, hey, so they're gonna be hiring. Cool. Went and applied, was all set to come on, and then bam, Verizon had a hiring freeze. And then literally, probably 2 weeks after that, I got a call because I had applied for Time Warner, and then I got a call for them, and then they offered me a job. What's funny about that is, at that time, I took a pay cut to go to that company to go to Time Warner too, because I think I came on like $11 an hour or something like that, $11.50 an hour maybe, if that. I guess you could say I kind of chose it. I was good at it. I enjoyed it to a certain extent. There was a time where I really enjoyed my job.
So the paycheck came.
Yeah, yeah. And then like I said, eventually I kind of grew out of it, and I got to the point where I felt like I was kind of stagnant. So I guess you could say I chose the career. Cable chose me, or not? I didn't, or yeah, I chose it. I chose it, and it was just something I was good at, And now I'm on to bigger and better things, and I chose a career as a public servant, and now I'm here where I'm at, and
you're not making $11 an hour.
I'm not, close to it, city workers, county workers,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a change.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Well, in that note, we are gonna say goodbye to everybody for now.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you for coming by and sharing some of the stories with us. Like we tell everybody, eventually, if you want to come back,
Yeah, for sure.
later
I got way more stories.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And you're gonna remember more after today.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
everybody always tells us the same thing. So
Yeah.
thank you for coming. Anything else, Richard?
Shift over.
Yeah, shift over.